Hey, it's Capital Sage, and that is Sage spelt in all capital letters. Now that we're on the same page, hello. What's up? This is what I'm gonna call Sage's vitamins. I'm giving you guys a vitamin here. It's really healthy, it's wholesome, there's no additives, just the truth that I feel inclined to spill on camera for you guys to bask in on this day. And I hope that didn't sound too obnoxious, but if it did, come on, it's Sage, baby. And now that we're on the same page, I advocate for the good life. Okay, just to tell you a little bit about me, I advocate for the good life, and I believe anybody can have the good life. Let me explain. God made us all brilliant. God made us brilliantly. God didn't just like pick up some dirt and just be like, look. God crafted us and made us like really brilliant, and I believe in that. So I believe that brilliant beings can definitely make good lives, because brilliant is like 3 to 4 tiers above good. It's like you got mediocre, you got good, you got great, you got like wonderful, and then you got like brilliant. So I don't see for what reason a brilliant being could not make a good life. You see? So I believe that we can all have the good life, and I advocate for it because God made us brilliantly. We're actually more exquisite than any computer, and you can look that up. It's like the human brain is more exquisite than any computer. So we're super brilliant, and Capital Sage stamps us living the good life. And I wanted to tell you something that I thought about. The good life includes not only mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health, but mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual vibrance. You see, it's more than just being good. It's about being brilliant. So what I wanted to talk about today is that we're brilliantly made, and I advocate that we express our brilliance. And one way that we do that, one of the first steps to being brilliant, is to clean off all the muck that we're born into and when we first enter the earth, because we're spiritual beings. I'm sure most of us agree to that. If not, look into it. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. So we come from a spiritual place, and then we enter a place that is physical. And the analogy I want to use is when you're born out of the mother's womb, you're covered in stuff. Like you're covered in slime and blood and all type of stuff. So when you're born into your physical experience, you're born into all these situations that give you muck and miles and all this dirt that you got to clean off, right? But what happens when we're not necessarily being brilliant is that we get stuck in that, and we just wear that blood and that guck on us for the rest of our lives. So I want to talk about how the first step to brilliance is to clean off the muck that you're born into. And I'm going to go so far to say it's actually fun. The first step to being brilliant is healing yourself from childhood traumas, or adolescent traumas, or teen traumas, or high school traumas, or when you start getting older like me, I'm 32, 20s traumas. Okay? And you have to take that step. Until you take that step, you're still in the first stage, and it doesn't really matter if you're 50 years old if you haven't taken that step to clean off the muck that you were born into, because there's brilliance ahead of that. But a lot of us get stuck in that first stage and just wear that for the rest of our lives. So I advocate the good life and living brilliantly and expressing our brilliance. So I want to say the first path to being brilliant as a brilliant being is using your brilliance to heal yourself from the trauma that you experienced, whatever it might have been, in your earlier part of your life. And once you clean that off, then you can get to the next stage. But just to reiterate, even if you are 50 years old, if you haven't cleaned off the trauma, from my estimation, you're still in the first part of your brilliance. I can't tell you what part of your life you're in, but I'm talking about how to express brilliance, because God made us brilliantly and more exquisitely than any computer. You feel me? It's capital Sage, and now that we're on the same page, that's what I owe if you're talking about money. You guys will get that one day. Because, anyway. So, I want to talk about how to heal. And this is going to be the meat of the message, and it might even be the shortest part because it's so simple. When you have a scab, or if you injure yourself, your body heals itself. Am I right? Yeah. The only thing that keeps you from healing is if you keep re-injuring the wound. Yeah. If you keep picking at your scabs, then you make the scab worse and you create scars. If you twist your ankle and you keep walking on your ankle, you make the injury worse, okay? But if you just follow instructions and you just stay off your ankle, if you stop picking at the scab, it heals itself and there's minimal damage after, right? So, you know what I'm gonna say. Those of us that walk around with emotional scars, spiritual scars, mental scars, physical scars, it's because we keep redamaging them. Stop redamaging your scars and they will heal themselves. Now, I don't know if this is the video for me to really get into explaining how you might be redamaging if you fit that category, which I'm sure that you do. Because a lot of us do, if not all of us, including myself. I get these messages because I am willing to go through these things to share tips with people who may be too busy to do this. So if you keep redamaging scars or injuries, then that's why they don't heal. So I want to go so far as to say, any injury that you have, whether it been childhood, adolescent, high school age, 20s, whatever, first marriage, whatever, if it hasn't healed, it's because you keep re-injuring it. Answer me this. How long does it take the worst injury to heal? If you broke your back, it probably heal in a year to some level of stability. So any injury that you have that has lasted for 20 years is because you keep re-injuring it. And that's the place that you start. I don't think this is the video for me to explain, and I'll probably make another video to explain ways that you could be re-injuring these scars or whatever. But the point is, through common sense, injuries heal themselves unless you keep re-injuring them, period. So if you have injuries that have lasted for super long periods of time, it's because you keep re-injuring them. So figure out how you're doing that and stop it, and your injuries will heal themselves. Be patient with yourself, because if it's been a long journey of you doing this cycle, it may take longer for these injuries to heal, but they will heal, especially if you leave them alone, because that is how the body works. The mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body. That's how it works. So the first step to brilliance is definitely healing your traumas. Then comes the next step, because there's things after that. A lot of us keep living like, I was born with these traumas, I was born with these hurts, I was born with these situations, and that's just who I am forever. You were made brilliantly by God, which means you can solve these things and move forward and create something else, and then solve that and then move forward and create something else. And when I said solve that, I didn't mean that you'll create more problems and then you solve them and then life is just a perpetual problem that you have to solve. I mean, you'll create a different phase of your life and then you'll conquer that. Like, whether that phase of your life be starting a business, whether that phase of your life be anything, travel, whether that phase of your life be anything, you can move past the trauma, past healing the traumas, get to the next phase of your life, conquer that phase of your life, and then have 2-3 more phases of your life. And this is intentional. It's not just floating along like I'm going to get older and I'm just going to do what people do as they get older. No, intentional creation of different phases after you heal the trauma. The trauma will heal itself if you stop picking at the scabs. It's Capital Sage. I love y'all, and have a happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed. I'm not a Christian, but I rock with you, okay? I love God. Capital Sage. See y'all next time.